Well, hello everyone, welcome to Gumbo's Flying Circus, and just a little video here to show the A10 startup procedure via the checklist. I thought this would be helpful to people, especially those been watching the streams and looking to do the startup by the checklist. So we'll start off with the cockpit check. So you make sure that your throttles are off, that your speed brake is set to the center position, that your flap lever is in the up position, APU is off, which is here, engine operate switches are all normal, which is here, engine fuel flow switches are normal, that the EAC is off, which is behind the throttle there as a switch, that your radar altimeter is disconnected, which is there, that your APU gen is off, which is here, AC gen left and right, and we flick to power, that the battery is on, and then flick the inverter to standby. Your signal lights are tested. Make sure that all the lights come on. That the fire detection system is checked, and there'll be 3 lights across the panel there and a master caution going. That your fuel is tested. There's a little button down there, and that it's showing a quantity of fuel. Your oxygen supply, which is down here, is that switch there. The flow will start and then hit the oxygen indicator test all the way round until it gets back to the 5 and goes off again. There we go. Then your boost pumps need to go on for wing and main. So your before start checklist begins now. So you put on the APU, which you flick the switch. Then you have to wait for that to come up. You're looking at the APU EGT there, make sure it doesn't run away, and waiting for the RPM for the APU to come up to 100%. There it goes, that's a good start, and the temperature's falling back. So then we flick the APU generator switch to on. Your CDU comes on. You then set your radios to on, 1, 2 and 3. You can now adjust your seat for height, but I'm happy with the way it is here. You then request engine start, which I won't do now, but you can request engine start from A10C. Your master exterior light switch, which is on the throttle, there's a switch here, so you probably need to bind that if you don't have a Warthog, but it's the pinky switch, so that goes to aft. Then position lights, which you'll find down here, set to flash. And then we start the left engine first, so you bring that out of D10, there we go. The engine start cycle warning illuminates. Then the engine starts to spool up. So we have a temperature come up there. We've got the RPMs rising. The fan speed in percent is rising. And the fuel flow is showing as that's going in. See the temperature rise there, you don't want it to go past 9. There we go, that's back to 500 and something. That comes master caution resets because your APU gen's on. The light goes out and you've got a good start. So now you repeat that for the right engine. And again, the temperature comes up, percentage RPM comes up, fan starts turning, the hydraulics come online, and the fuel flow increases. We're looking for about 60% idle. There we go, the temperature falls back, engine is now running and stabilised, and this engine start cycle illumination will go out. So with your engines up and running, you can check the flaps down here. So the switch is here, and you just bring that to manoeuvre all the way to full, back up, and then set to manoeuvre. Check the speed brakes, they're coming up and going down. Then check the controls, move the stick, stir the pot to make sure you get free movement, cycle your rudders left and right. You now put on the SAS switches here and check your takeoff trim. We then need to put on the screens here. CICU goes to on, IFFCC goes to test. We then press enter on the UFC and that'll start the bit test. We can now get these all on here for CMS. Your countermeasure systems, these are all the programs for your countermeasures, chaff flare, jamming pod. You can set this to auto, semi, manual, and it's when you hit the flares and chaff, the program will run depending on what you have set up there.
Pull up, pull up.
So we just
altitude,
go to load
altitude.
all and hit the so it's the load all there. We then get these messages, so we acknowledge that. Now we're waiting for asterisks to come up along that side. Once the bit test is complete, press enter for exit. Select key down to exit and enter that. And then your IFFCC can go to on. And your HUD is now operational. Got the asterisks, so you hit CDU. And the TAD page on this side. INS will say nav ready. Hit nav. Then go down to waypoint. Put that one down to flight plan on the steer point there. Hit waypoint. EGI. And your steering cue can come on. You can now uncage the standby instrument, reset your G meter up here, like so, set your altimeter, so we go to QFE, so it reads 0, there we go. So we've loaded and that's all set. Bit test is completed. We've set up our CDU for waypoint. TAD is selected. Steer point is set already to flight plan. Now this is where you would set your Dismas weapon profiles and things like that, but you need quite a bit of knowledge to do that. But you would just select Dismas and then you go through your weapons, select your profiles, change those, and make sure they are what they need to be on. If you have any missiles on there, so say Mavericks and you've got the AGMs, you can go to missile page and turn the EL on. That starts to counter to cool your Mavericks down, if that's applicable. Then go to the ILS, click on the power button to get that running. Put your TACAN up to TR, set those frequencies that you need in there. APU gen can now come off. Then we flick the APU switch to off and that will shut your APU down. EAC goes to arm, and there the switches behind the throttle, and radar altimeter as well, that goes to normal. You can now stow the ladder and check your takeoff speeds, but we won't worry about that right now. So now we get to the taxi. So you just put your nose wheel steering switch on, request your taxi, choose your taxi light, which is down. You perform a brake check, and that this turns. Flaps set to manoeuvre. Speed brakes ensure are closed. Close your canopy and arm your ejection seat. And you are now all ready for takeoff. So what we do is just a little taxi. I'll do a brake check just by tapping the brakes as soon as you start moving. So we just taxi out to the runway. And taxiing's really nice and easy on this. You don't need to go too fast, just take your time. Watch out for the rudders, because the nose wheel steering can be a bit touchy depending on what you're using. So we don't want to go too fast, but fast enough to get there. Which is a nice, nice gentle taxi there. So get to the end of the runway. It's a nice day, looks autumnal here on Caucasus. Keep an eye on you, keep it in the middle of the taxiway. Right, so we slow down for the corner. And those wheels are just about where you're sitting. So we just take that. So now what we do is the before takeoff checklist. So you go and set your position lights to steady, put your anti-collisions on, request your takeoff, put your lights on, and once you get your takeoff clearance, enter the runway. So now we have the line-up checks. So you check that your flaps are in manoeuvre and indicating, that your lights are on, which they are, your APU is off, which is that switch down there. Then we check the anti-skid is on. Right, stop in the middle of the runway. Confirm your seat is armed. Put on the pitot heat, which is down here, that big blocky switch there. Then we do an engine run up, so you want to look at these instruments here, hold your brakes, go to 90%. So you check your engine instruments are fine, that there's no caution and warnings, there's no alarms going off. Then for takeoff, all you do, make sure you're comfortable in your seat, brakes off, 100%. You're looking for 50 knots, which is indicated here. Take your nose wheel steering off. Then you're looking for 120, 130 knots. Pull back, up in the air, gear coming up, horn reset, nose comes down, flaps up, and we're looking for 180 knots, and then we pull up for the climb holding around 180 knots. And that is how we go from startup to taxi to takeoff, following the checklist in the A10C Warthog. I hope you have found this interesting and helpful, and I look forward to seeing you at the next Gumbo's Flying Circus live stream or video. So don't forget to chuck us a like, share, subscribe, and let me know what your thoughts are in the comment, how you find the A10, if you've been enjoying it or if you're looking to get it. And I'll see you very, very soon. So take care, enjoy your DCS. Catch you later.